Hello and welcome in, Magic Learners. Much love bringing you, a hot draw with the VIAL Wizards Mono Blue Splash White card draw Wizards Motley collection of little blue people, the Smurfs we could call them. And if you haven't seen the deck tech, make sure to check that out. It's up, just so if you want to know exactly what all the cards are called and do and all that. So, we have Aether Vial, which is always the dream. Lets us find what we need, and we have a counterspell in Martyr of Frost. We could put a counter on Aether Vial, get a Sage, and yeah, basically I would like to look for Sky Hussar if possible. That way we can start pulling ahead on cards. And there it is, although I actually like... I actually like a lot of these. I want to draw the Sky Hussar, but I would also like to draw Master of Waves. 1, 2... Gonna go Martyr, Island, Master, Sky Hussar. So we're gonna draw the Sky Hussar. Don't need to crack the Flooded Strand. Can you hear those dogs barking upstairs? Lots of dogs barking. I don't know if the camera picks it up. So yeah, back for optimal dose of magic. I think one match a day is great. It is a good thing to do in the morning or afternoon. Get your brain going for the rest of the day. Quick match. The series also, as you all know, is about habit formation, coming back every day and creating something. And that's the name of the game. Okay, interesting. Young Pyromancer, okay. Well, we have protection from blue, and I have got a feeling that that is going to be a big deal. Okay. Just go ahead and do this now. Draw a card. Yeah, Master of Waves is going to be really helpful. Click this up to 2. Draw the island. So if we had switched the Master of Waves with the Martyr of Frost, it actually would have worked out slightly better, but that's okay. So I'm going to ship the turn, and I'm going to be ready with Omen Speaker up and Martyr of Frost to counter their spell. And maybe we can crack this Flooded Strand. We don't need to draw another Martyr of Frost that bad at this point. But I feel pretty good about this. Serum Visions is fine. I think it's going to be... The opponent is going to be able to get a little bit out of control with Young Pyromancer, but since our Master of Waves have protection from red, and we're going to be able to sneak them through with Aether Vial, I think it's going to be... Master of Waves should trump Young Pyromancer in this case. Alright, well, actually, Omen Speaker might trump Young Pyromancer in this case. By the way, I don't think we really want Martyr of Frost that bad. So I think I'm going to crack the Flooded Strand. Counter Lightning Bolt. 1, 2, unless the opponent plays 2. So Lightning Bolt's going to be countered. They need to have another Lightning Bolt or a Vapor Snag. But yeah, we've got a Martyr of Frost coming. I think we would prefer to draw an island. And so I'm going to go ahead and crack this. But Omen Speaker jumping Young Pyromancer's bones is a pretty big deal. We can draw Flooded Strand next turn to play Master of Waves, which seems pretty good to me. Go ahead and block. So everything's going insanely well, you could say. Sky Hussar upkeep. We're drawing extra cards, and we are developing our board as hoped. and as expected. So let's go ahead and get Master of Waves down. This could be something we wait on, but we have a window of counterspells, and since this has protection from red, and the opponent appears to be a red deck, ooh, okay, they may have Path to Exile. They might have some ways to get out of this. It's possible, but I mean they have 6 cards in hand, so you gotta give them a chance here. Elementals, yeah. So we're basically a Grand Architect away from really owning the opponent, but we're gonna be able to just drop a Master of Waves off Aether Vial, which will produce an insane board presence. Okay, so while we're here, many of you who watch this, you know we go over some kind of new idea, new concept, new question, something not really Magic related. So something that's been on my mind today is, what in the heck? 4 colors. While I'm recording this, Tribal Flames us. Okay. While I'm recording this, it is my birthday. And that isn't to say, hey, wish me happy birthday. I generally like to keep it private, but that's actually necessary to talk about. This is protection from red, so let's do that. Necessary to talk about. Interesting. How much do I like drawing cards? A lot, it turns out. I like drawing cards a lot. Put out another Master of Waves. Get some tokens, and then Sky Hussar again. And there's a Metamorph for another Master of Waves. However, I want to go ahead and I'm not going to crack the Misty because I don't want to lose life. I'm looking for a Grand Architect. So that's interesting because we don't need either of these. You know, we could play a Metamorph to get yet another Master of Waves into play. 3, 6, 9, but that's not lethal anyways. It's better to get a counter shield up. So we'll do that. Okay, so birthdays. To me, birthdays represent a year of growth. So I've been thinking about, sometimes I get caught in the past and look back at mistakes and dumbassery and stupid things that I've done and things that I didn't know. However, you generally get, you generally get more chances. Not always, but the future is a big, big unknown place, and birthdays remind me how much I've grown, how much more I know. That when I think back to how little I knew and compare with how much I know, you know, it creates a contrast where it's like, wow, I was really dumb in the past because I'm much smarter now. And I want to have that feeling every New Year, every birthday, where it's like, wow, I can't believe I didn't know that and that I did that stupid thing. Because with mistakes comes wisdom. And it's easy to say, and I hear this a lot, also from very successful people, like try to emulate the best, don't just learn from other people's mistakes. I find that really hard to do. I mean, I read and study and take notes, but sometimes it just takes making your own mistakes to really understand, and that's my feeling. Okay, so as for this game, I brought in Akira because it soaks up a burn spell, and besides that, I actually don't want to change a whole lot. I cut out Metamorph because it can cost a life, and as auxiliary, it's a little bit slower. And then Thalia could be cute. Actually, Thalia seems pretty good, and I'm going to cut Metamorph again for the same reason. It's just auxiliary. Actually, I'm going to play Metamorph over Sword and do it. Yeah, Thalia seems like it would really affect the opponent's mana and is thus worth playing with. So here we have a hand that is basically good, except it doesn't have Aether Vial, and I want to draw Aether Vial. So what I'm thinking of doing is playing, I'm going to keep it just because mulliganing for Aether Vial is not necessarily, excuse me, I just sneezed off camera. Mulliganing for Aether Vial is a way to just lose cards, basically, which I'm not going to do. And we drew a land, which is good. I'm going to go for a Sage with the knowledge that we're probably going to shuffle. Oh, we have got a lot of options for how to use this. There's Sky Hussar, which I really like. We don't really want another Void Mage or another Sage. Really, we just want another Sky Hussar and lands. So I'm going to grab the Sky Hussar and then shuffle it away. There's a Delver. Okay. So that seems like something that's going to happen this game. So we're up against a weird kind of tribal zoo. See, I debated playing Vapor Snag over Serum Visions, and I think it could maybe be good. Also, the card Electrolyze is really going to own us on this turn. So we crack Flooded Strand here. And by the way, as for dealing with the flipped Delver, we really just have Sky Hussar and Kira, I guess. Yeah, Kira's a decent answer to trade in the air, but not a whole lot of ways to deal with things that have already happened. So Serum Visions here, I'm basically looking for lands. There's another Grand Architect if we want it. And there's a fourth land if we want it. Question is whether we want it or not. What would we rather have is, I guess, a good question. It's just a matter of deploying everything. Can we really get everything out? I guess I'm going to keep. We can always... I don't know. Alright, Martyr. Ship the turn. If the opponent flips Electrolyze and plays a land and destroys our creatures, we might be able to skip straight to the scoop phase and then move on to game 3. Time efficiency. Alright, so my question, and this is relating to... Am I going to post a video set? Yeah, on the Magic Learning YouTube. So yeah, this is going to be a video. If you're watching this, you probably already knew that, but our opponent didn't, because not everyone necessarily knows everything, and why the hell would they? Yeah, so the question is, I want you to look back in the past, and again, you don't have to do this, and the reason why is because this is about a lot more than Magic to me. Magic's a platform. But look back in the past, I don't want you to stay there, but pick some dumbass things you've done, right? Don't beat yourself up for it. And then think about how right now, Monastery Mentor, Lingering Souls, and then think about how right now, how much less of a dumbass you are. In other words, how much you've learned and how you can not repeat those mistakes in the future. Alright, so I'm going to get Kira down. It protects our creatures and is going to be pretty good at blocking Lingering Souls. Hopefully, the opponent has one Lightning Bolt. They can probably throw 2 burn spells at it and we're going to lose it. And this is really the difference between drawing... this is really the difference between drawing Aether Vial and not drawing Aether Vial. It's a tremendous difference. So yeah, this game could end very quickly. The hope is Kira can eat a Spirit, and then a few Grand Architects can... Nope, that's not going to happen. It's getting bolted. I guess for us to have a chance, we probably need to draw a Master of Waves on this turn. I don't really see a way around that. So Void Mage Prodigy. I'm going to play a Grand Architect and ship the turn, and yeah, we're going to die. You know, we can probably concede. We can get a Sky Hussar down in the next turn after fetching for a Hallowed Fountain. But I also want to let the opponent just Tribal Flames us to the Chrome Domus right now. Yeah. Okay. I think that we're going to get Chrome Domed with the Tribal Flames. straight to the Chrome Domus. Here it is. I'm preparing my body to take a punch to the face right now. Alright, well, I mean, that doesn't make things any better. I'm going to go ahead and concede. So, say that we want to improve this matchup. Maybe the Void Mages aren't the best. They're very slow. Venser is a good way to deal with... I'm going to cut a Void Mage. Venser seems like a good way to deal with a Delver. And I'm somewhat tempted for even Mind Sensor instead of Void Mage as a way to screw with the opponents. Maybe we could stop the opponent from developing their mana. It's a surprise. It's worth a try. I'm really not a huge fan of Void Mage here, of how slow it is, and really reliant on drawing Aether Vial. So our curve is pretty funked up, and I'm hoping to draw Vial, but if not, we'll see how this goes. We could also go with Spreading Seas. Sure, I'm not above land destruction. I'm going to go no Void Mages. Yeah, they're good with Master of Waves, I suppose, but otherwise, again, they just get in the way. Aether Vial, Aether Vial, Aether Vial. No Aether Vial. Although, this is otherwise a good hand. And it's okay. Whether we win or we lose, we're coming back for another match. And we're going to have more turn 1 Aether Vials, so don't you worry. Don't you worry. No Delver, no Delver, no Delver, no Bagel, no Bagel, no Bagel, no Bagel, no Delver, no Delver. Ah. Bogusness. Alright, Omen Speaker time. See what there is to see. I guess that I'm okay with both of these. We are going to need a 4th land, so why not? Why not next turn? Tribal Flames. That's really a pain. This game's gonna get tough. It's just so much damage. It's a lot of damage. It's not a little bit of damage. So see if the opponent wants to kill our Martyr. They really should. At least we get to draw with Sky Hussar. We have our draw engine. Feels good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and Serum Visions now, and probably we'll play... There's a Thalia. Very exciting. I'm going to bottom Aether Vial and top Grand Architect. Aether Vial is basically just too late to the party, but I think we can still use Grand Architect. So going for Thalia... should affect the opponent's mana base a little bit. And basically, we're just going to try to win as soon as possible. Hoping to get pathed. Vapor Snag. Did not get pathed. And there's another Delver. Okay, taking the hit. Sky Hussar yet again. Interesting. So we could go with the Thalia and then keep up Tribal Flames for it. Or keep up Martyr Frost for Tribal Flames. That just doesn't seem like it's going to win fast enough, because we need to deal 14 to the opponent, which 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, which we could actually do on this following turn. It's possible. Although I think we're going to get pathed. Yeah, that sucks. But so if this Delver doesn't flip, we have a chance. If the Delver flips, we're just pretty much dead. Didn't flip. Although it means they drew a land. We might be dead anyways. Tribal Flames plus... Actually, yeah, we're pretty much dead anyways. Oh well. I mean, we're 1 for 3 on Aether Vials, or 1 for 2 on, yeah, and 1 for 3 on games 1. This deck's pretty Aether Vial dependent, at least in this matchup, which is very much a speed matchup. Interesting. The opponent's going for Tribal Flames. A Tarka's Command. Okay, well, we're very much dead. GG's. Are we not dead? I mean, we're pretty much dead. We can play a Sky Hussar, which can block in the air. We need to draw, say, an Aven Mind Center to jump in front of this one, and then we can use Martyr Frost to counter the other. Spreading Seas. Spreading Seas on this. Yeah, oh well, it seems like we lost, but that's okay. It was a good match, and I'm prepared for... more prepared for the day. I feel slightly smarter, so I'm going to go ahead and scoop out. GG's, and we'll be back for at least 2 more matches with this deck. So, before we get out of here, let's go ahead and wrap up with a quick look at the deck. Again, if you haven't checked out the deck tech, make sure to do that. Everything's explained in there, but look at the sweet, sweet curves on this one. Really beautiful. Lots of mana, lots of cards, and really powerful once it gets going. Again, it's been a year today since 1 year last year today. And a lot has changed. Mostly for the wiser, sometimes for the more painful, and I invite you to reflect on growth in a forgiving and non-judgmental way of your past selves. And remember, approximately every year, your body is totally replaced with new physical matter from things you've eaten and air you've inhaled and water that you've drank. So every year, you're really a new you. And this new me has more wisdom, so I hope you feel the same way. Thanks to all our supporters, and I'll see you again for another match tomorrow, mañana. Take care.